Hello YouTube, welcome back to the final part of our small frame build. It's absolutely freezing in here. We have quite heavy snowfall outside. There's more snow on its way. Not great to be in a garage, I'm afraid. But when you are a silly old man like me and addicted to tinkering, this is where we spend all our time. So, back to the small frame. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. And 90% of the people that watch the videos don't bother subscribing. If you possibly can, please do. It does help the channel. Anyway, it's back on the bench. So we are going to fit our stator, which is going to go there. That marks up to that mark there. That's going to go through there. And they're going to go through the bottom hole. So let's just get them through. Like so. Come on, there we go. Slightly tired bit of rubber actually. Anyway, too late to worry now. And another one through the top. Also with a rubber sleeve which pops into the casing. That lined up with that. We'll pull that through later. Right, so that went there like that, so we need to get the clamps and nuts, bolts to secure that. Which were these three. I did try to find another one of those, but I didn't manage to find it. So we're going to have to stick with what we have. Sorry for getting in your way here, but I'm sorry for dropping in here. I really need to do this by putting my head down, which means getting in your way again. Right, I'm just going to screw these in, which I'm going to have to get my head in. I'll bring it back in a second. Right, it's on, lined up. So we need a woodruff key in the end of the crank. And then we have to line up our flywheel with that woodruff key. Watching your fingers as it can be like so. Yep. Flywheel nut. Which had that peculiar wavy washer on here. I'm not sure why. We'll go with the self-locking one this time. And then whatever that. Oh, while I'm witching on, as is my way, I'll just mention that I did taut down the cylinder head nuts as well. And for the life of me, I can't remember what taut they were still. I will go and look it up now. So, I should really lock that to that. I don't have a correct flywheel locking tool, I don't think, here, which is a shame. So we will go for a bit of butchery. Right, that'll do. Shouldn't do that because you can damage those, but bad practice. I should use a flywheel tool. Not good of me. Right, 11 milli deep, set to 12 foot-pounds. I'll just check away here, just so I'm doubly sure myself. Yeah. Good. So next we're going to fit our exhaust elbow. Right, found it. I shouldn't have said exhaust elbow because it's not an elbow, it's a pipe in this case. So again, because of the awkward nature of the inner nut and the fact I picked up the wrong washers and the wrong nuts, oh god, I'm mad. Right, let's try again. So we need to start fitting this nut before we can wind it down because there's not enough room. Like so. The gasket's fine, it's like new. Normally you change it, but it is absolutely like new. Right, 13 millis. I wonder why they designed it like this. It is silly, but anyway, it's on. Now then, the silencer. Starting to get heavy. The silencer is going to fit on there, obviously, and through the swinging arm, but it would benefit, I think, from a small amount of exhaust paste. Right, so a small amount of exhaust paste, because it's not a perfect fit. It's aftermarket exhaust, aftermarket pipe. They don't match up perfectly. So we will give them a helping hand, I think. That's to go in there. And that's to meet up there. Actually, the fit's not that bad. It's quite good. Quite often these misalign, but that seems pretty damn good to me. So I needn't have worried. What I shouldn't have done is put this on before I fitted the wheel. So you see how that goes. I will fit it once I fitted the wheel, because I'm really not thinking. Anyway, you see how it fits. I will now wipe off the excess until we're ready to do it again. Right, what's left? Inlet manifold and gasket. We have a new one somewhere, which is there. Turn around. Oh, it's definitely getting heavier. And it fits in down there. So we will grease that. You could use gasket cement if you wished. Paper gaskets, I think, respond well to grease, and I believe that's what they used originally anyway, so if it's good enough for Piaggio, let me move this so I can see it and you can see it. So, paper gasket, which is not a great fit. There we go. Inlet manifold. Must be that way. And then we need a couple of nuts. Right. So we're running out of things to do, aren't we? So we need our coil on. Right. We've refitted the original, should be plastic cover there by the way, which isn't on the engine. We've refitted the original stator again because the owner decided against replacing it because he did have a spark, it just seemed a bit weak. Now, it could still be a stator problem. However, it could still be a coil problem. However, that's not good either. That should be out on a separate earth. I might try and do something with that. I'm not sure what. Try and bring it down there. But I will put a ring on that. Because he had a spark, the old HT lead is the modern, more automotive type with the carbon strands. Are they carbon? Well, you know the ones I mean anyway, with the soft strands through the middle. And at this end, where it's attached to the coil, I don't think it was making contact at all. Or it must have been making some contact for it to spark, but very little contact. So, in the short term, he has decided to go with good old-fashioned copper cord HT lead, which is a lot less flexible. So I will cut that down to size, because we're going to use that with a 1 heat range hotter plug, and with that properly earthed, and then we're going to try it, because he doesn't want to spend any more money sorting this out than he has to, because it's a bit tight, to be honest. But anyway, only joking. Right, so I will cut that down, I will mount that, I'll put a ring on that, and we'll come back. Right, coil's mounted. Got a ring which I will use to attach to the flywheel cover, which will earth onto there. This is an additional earth that Ducati fit to their CDIs. Not sure why, to be honest, but they do. Right, so that will all go on when the flywheel cover goes on. We have our new copper which has to screw into a screw inside there. Anyway, the other end also screws in. That should have a clip on it really, but it hasn't got one. But that won't stop it working. No, it doesn't like that. Right, I'm going to put it on the bench and do it. I'm back in a second. Right, I had to go and degrease my hands because I wasn't getting a good enough grip. That actually looks a bit long, but it must be right because of how it was before. So all we need to do now is fit the flywheel cover and the engine cowl and the spark plug, and we're done. It's a bit old and battered. But hey ho, what can you do? So I need to find some more screws for that, because I can't find them. And then let's have a look. That's got to go on there like that. That's got to go under there like that. That's got to fit like that. Right, okay. So I just need to go and find the fittings, and that can all go on together. Let's start by putting a couple in loose and we'll jiggle this about. In there. Right, tightened up the cowling, stuck a hotter plug in, 1 grade hotter. The lead does look a bit long, that's what was on it before, so if the owner wants to sort that out, he can do. I've bunged the back wheel on, so really we just have to go back to our exhaust, which is where we were before when we tried to fit it and we couldn't because I hadn't got the wheel. So if we just use the racket, just move this round so you can see what's going on. That'll do. Pin fits in there, like we saw before, and then that mates up with that, with a bit of exhaust assembly paste, because it didn't look like it was a great fit, although when it actually went on, it wasn't as bad as I thought. So and it is just 2 bolts, so nice and easy. Well, I say nice and easy. You've got to get the bloody thing started first, of course. Excuse my French. These are reluctant. Why is that reluctant? Seems worse this time than when we tried last time. Has that started? Yes, it most definitely has. Good. Right. You don't want to see me screwing in 2 bolts. I'll bring it back in a second. There it is, exhaust in. Well, on, I should say, rather than in. This is how it was when it came to me. But at least the owner now knows what it's like internally. The bad starting, probably the HT lead and the wrong spark plug. It's a resistor plug and it needn't be. There's some dodgy wiring, which he says he's going to have a look at himself. So really there's no reason why this shouldn't start and run perfectly well. Other than the final little piece in today's, the carburetor that was on it is clearly brand new. As in, you know, very, very, very new. But given that the clutch plates had stuck together and rusted, if this had been left with fuel in it, despite being brand new, there could be problems with idle jets, all that sort of stuff, with blockages. So our next video, which will only be a short one, will be taking apart a small frame carburetor. So until then, if you've liked this, please subscribe. Call back for this next video, have a look at others if you haven't looked at them already. And then when this is done, I've been given a PX engine of checkered history, shall we say, and that's got to come apart, and we've got to find out what's wrong with it and see if it's worth fixing. So another Vespa engine rebuild on the way soon, but next will be the carb, as I say. So thanks again for watching. Please call back to the garage. Bye bye.